Gaurav, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi Nitish. So yes, we can start now.
Okay, great. So let me get my material. Just please confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, so welcome to day one of this particular course, CCNA. Okay, so as we have discussed, so the first thing we are going to discuss in this particular course is what are the different kinds of network devices, because it is very, first of all, before knowing about networks, first of all you need to know what kind of devices you are going to interact with and basically play with in this particular course. Okay, so that would be the agenda of this particular one, so where I will be explaining the different kinds of devices and show you guys how can you use them on the lab, which is packet tracer. Okay, so without any delay, let's go into the topic. Okay, so these are the different kinds of devices. Okay, before going into this particular segment, I would like to ask you guys, what is a network? I have written the one, but in case if you guys want to keep it in, say, one word, how would you describe? Like if someone comes
Uh,
to you and asks, what is a network? Yeah,
yeah, it's like multiple computers communicate and share the data.
yes. So if you see, the key thing is to share resources. Okay, it's not connecting. Connecting for what? There should be a purpose for that, right? And the purpose is sharing resources. And that resources can be anything. It can be a JPEG, it can be image, it can be a video, it can be audio, anything. Okay, anything for sharing the data if you're connecting two devices. Okay, it can be as complex as internet. Okay, in the internet it is a very big network, right, to as simple as a Bluetooth connection. So you guys at some point in your lives might have connected your Bluetooth to your phone. If you see, that is also a network. Okay, network doesn't mean that you should have routers, you should have switches, you should have so many technical equipment. No, just two mobiles connected over Bluetooth is also considered as a network. The primary intention of us is to share the resources. And how are we connecting? Irrespective of that, whatever it is a network. Okay, I hope this particular definition is clear. If anyone has any doubts, do let me know. Okay, so considering the silence as a no. So now let's discuss some of the devices in this particular section. So first of all, endpoints. Okay, endpoints are nothing but the ones who shares the information and who serves the information. That means one is when two devices are connected, one will be the requester. That means one device will be asking for the information. Okay, hey, give me this, give me that, and another device will be serving that information. So these devices, which is either sending the data or asking for the data, are called as end host. Okay, oh, what happened? One second. Please confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, so in this, one is server. Server is nothing but which gives you the data. Client is the one who is request for that data. Okay, so then along with this, okay, so you need to
Guys, just wait for another 2 minutes. Actually, I think there is an internet issue. 1 minute.
Hello, Nitish sir.
Yeah, hi guys. I think I guys just wait for another 2 minutes. Actually, he's joining back.
Yeah, actually, can I ask you a question just?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So every day, that lecture time is 8:30.
No, today is 8:30, but from Monday you have to join 9 o'clock only.
Okay, okay.
Till what time?
Yes.
9.
When, yeah, it will start 9. So till what time we have?
9 to
we get
10:30.
finished?
Sir, can you please schedule 9:30, 9:15, 9:15, not 9:30?
No, Abhishek, that is not possible. The time is 9 o'clock only.
Yeah, okay, fine, not issue.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Hello. Gaurav, can you hear me?
Yeah, Niti. 1 minute. Let me give you the
Sorry for
access.
that. So my laptop got shut down
Okay, no
for
problem.
some reason.
Yeah, now we'll track.
Cool. So let me go back to my PPT. Okay. So in order to connect these end devices, okay, so server and a client, okay, we require some devices. Okay. So those devices are nothing but switches, routers, and firewalls. So what is the purpose of a switch? What is a router? What is the purpose of a router? Where should you use a router? Where should you use a switch? Where should you use a firewall? Is the questions which you guys have to understand being a network engineer. Okay, because that is very important. If you don't know how to use your weapon, then there is no point of how strong that weapon is. So definitely you need to know in where switch works better and where switch doesn't work better, where routers work better and where router doesn't work better, and similarly with rest of the devices. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at that particular one. So the first are clients. So the clients are nothing but a device which are requesting for that service. Okay, usually your mobile phone, laptops, PCs, anything, okay, which requests the data comes under the
Server.
client category. Any doubts? Cool. Okay, then comes the server. So these are the servers which are kept in the data centers of the company, where you will be sending multiple requests and they will be serving you.
Sorry for the disturbance. Can you repeat the last statement?
Which one about the clients?
Yeah.
So clients, as I said, so why are we connecting our devices to share the data? Okay, when we are sharing the data, one device will be requester. That means it will request for some data and one will be giving the data. So the devices which comes under the category of that requesting. Okay, let's say you are taking a YouTube. Okay, you are requesting for a YouTube video. So then your device will be the client and the server which is hosting that YouTube video will be the server. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. So it can be anything. Okay. No need to be a mobile, a PC. Even sometimes servers can be a client also. Sometimes. Okay. So the definition of client is not mobile, PC and all. It is something which requests the data. Okay. Even it can be in your Bluetooth connection, headphone and Bluetooth connection. If you see in that connection, your mobile phone is server and your Bluetooth is client. So your Bluetooth is getting the audio from your mobile. So that means your mobile is a server and your Bluetooth headphones, okay, So that will be the client for that particular one. So this is how the things goes. Okay, so client is always something which requests the data. Okay, it is not mobile phone or PC. It is always the one which requests the data. Okay, so now comes to the servers. Servers are nothing.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for this particular case, for Bluetooth headset, Bluetooth headset is not requesting for the data, right?
It is, let's say you're playing a song, it depends. Okay, if you're playing a song, then song is coming from mobile, right? So that means your mobile phone is giving the data to your headset. Your headset is not generating the data. Right?
Sir, I have one doubt. Sir, can we cover here IP address and subnetting part, right?
Yes, we will be doing that in our course. But this is day one. In today's session, we are not going
on step by step. We cannot directly jump on that.
Yeah.
Okay. I just ask.
Yeah, we will be covering that. Okay. Cool. Any more questions to answer? Cool. So it can be anything. So a PC can request another PC an image. So hey, give me an image, and here you are. So in this case, as this device is requesting, this will be the client, and this device is giving that image to the other device. So this will be the server in this particular case. Okay. So usually you guys might be thinking server is always a server. No, your PC also can be a server. If you see, these two devices are exchanging an image where this device is asking for it and this device is sending the image. So this will be the server and this will be the client. Okay. There comes the next one. So it can be as this also. Okay. So this is what we generally think that this is a client and server. But yes, this is also a client server model. But the previous one, whichever I have explained, is also a client server model. Okay, so as I mentioned here, the same device can be client and server in some situations. Okay, so cool. Someone is saying good evening to that person. Cool. So now let's talk about switches. Okay, so now, okay, if you see in this particular image, there is a computer, there is a server, and I have kept some circle here. How these two devices are connected. So if you see, there is a line going, but physically, let's take the real world things. Okay. Do you have a wire between here to your YouTube server directly? Is that possible? First of all, the answer is possible, but is it feasible? The answer is no. Okay. Possibility is there. You can, if you have money, okay, you can directly have a link between your computer and to the YouTube server, direct link, which is separated between some hundreds of kilometers. But that is not a feasible solution. Why? Because if you see, if you want to have a connection from your computer to here, then let's say one more PC is there, then he also needs to go ahead and do it. So this way of scaling the networks is not at all a good idea. So we need to find an efficient way of connecting the devices. Okay. So all the three categories, whatever are mentioned here, comes into this particular one. Okay. So these devices helps us to connect the clients to the servers. Okay. So if you see, there are many questions. How does the computer know where is YouTube server? Have you ever thought about that? Okay. So have you ever thought how does your computer can reach to YouTube server which is sitting in US or UK? Okay, how does your computer able to see the Cisco server? Okay, so the answer lies in these three devices. Okay, whatever we are going to do or configure on these devices, the switches, the routers, and the firewalls is the reason behind that. Okay, and in this particular course, you are going to learn how switch will forward the data, how router will forward the data, how firewall will block the data, so on and so forth. Okay. So here comes the switches. So these are some of the switches. Okay, Catalyst. This is from Cisco end only. So I have not included the other different categories of switches because this is CCNA. So I have particularly sticking to Cisco devices and Cisco concepts. So I won't be taking those references, but any doubts you can ask. Okay. So first of all, in a network, okay, multiple PCs are there. Okay, multiple PCs are there. Cool. How are you going to connect these multiple PCs? One way of doing it is, let's say this particular one, so multiple PCs are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so like this, some devices are there. One way is you are connecting, making a connection between this, making a connection here, and making one more connection here, and one more connection here, and one more connection here, and one more connection here. If you see here, how many connections are there total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 connections. And if I add one more particular device to this particular network, what happens? I have to have one link here, one link here, one link to this, and one link to this. See, are you seeing the problem here? See, if I add one more device here to this particular network. See, if I want to talk to all devices, then I need to have a connection to all the devices. Otherwise, I cannot talk. See how complex it is going. Just with 6 devices, how complex is this network? Okay. So now, in order to solve this problem, okay, so along with the complexity, the way we transfer the data also, the complexity increases. But by just having a one centralized device, which is the switch, okay. So now what are we going to do is, now there will be a switch and the PCs will be there. So let's say 3 PCs are there in the initial. So what we do is we connect all of the devices to that piece, switch. Now let's say one more device came into picture. All you have to do is take one more connection and attach it to the switch. See how clean and neat it is. Let's take one more device. What else? Just connect. See how simple, neat, and clean is this one. So now, as we have connected this, now the job of the switch is to switch the packet between these devices which are connected. Okay. So this, the technical term of this is called as LAN. Okay. So which is nothing but local area networks. Okay. So let's say there are 2 LANs. Okay. One is here and one is here. So those are connected with the PCs. So can you connect these 2 LANs? The answer is no. Okay. Because if you see, these are from one branch to another branch. That means 2 different physical locations. Definitely you need to use an internet connection. But you cannot connect your switches to the internet. That means ISP routers. So internet is nothing but ISP. ISP, if you guys don't know the full form, it is Internet Service Provider. Usually Jio, Airtel, ACT. So these are some of the well-known ISPs. Okay, there might be many, but you cannot connect to them. Why? Because these devices are only used for LAN switching. Okay. Then you might ask me one question. How can we connect these 2 branches? The answer is, that's where the next device comes into picture, which is routers. Okay. So routers are used to connect the, so if you see, switches are used to connect the devices, these end devices as one. Routers are used to connect these LANs. That means whenever there is 2 LANs, you will use a router here to connect that to the internet. And this is how the entire connection goes. Okay. So the role of the switch is to connect the end devices. The role of the router is to connect the LANs. Okay. LAN, you guys already know the word. It is nothing but local area network. Okay. So any doubts till this point, let me know. And the last one is firewall.
So as you said that switches we basically use to connect the multiple LAN segments, right?
No. Multiple LAN segments is router, multiple devices.
Yeah. So as you said that switches we use to connect multiple devices, right?
Yes.
But we cannot connect a switch to direct to the ISP, right?
Exactly.
And for that reason, to connect to the ISP, we use routers, right?
Exactly. Because internet works on something called as IP addresses. Switches works on something called as MAC addresses. So
But
these details are yet to be discussed, but this is the reason why we cannot use switches. So you
Right.
might ask me that doubt also. Why can't I connect switch? The answer is
So
switch doesn't know or switch doesn't understand IP addresses.
yeah, that I understand that switch works on the layer 2 switches, right? It works on the frames, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is now in the days, they are L3 switches, the multi-layer switches.
Exactly.
Right? So why don't we can we use L3 switches?
Definitely you can use.
routers?
Definitely you can use. So this is the initial class, right? So I'm keeping things simple. I'm not making it complex.
Yeah, that I makes sense. I just want to ask one question, that what is the main difference between the routers and the L3 switches?
Basically everything, but L3 switches can do the switching also, where routers cannot do the switching.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any more questions to answer? Anything more? Cool. So then let's go to the next device, which is firewalls. Okay. So all here we were just connecting it. But what if some hacker is trying to enter into our network? How can we prevent our the hackers and everyone? The answer is, which is the next device, firewall. Okay. So if you see here, I have kept a firewall here. So what is the role of the firewall is to inspect the traffic. It is like a watchman. So whenever someone is entering, he will check, okay, is this guy allowed? If he is allowed, it will enter. If it is not allowed, it is going to block. If you see here, so when the packets are coming from this particular network, see here, server 1 is sending it. So the firewall have allowed it, and through the internet, it has to the other side of the branch. So the firewall has allowed it because it is coming from server and going to the PC. But when the hacker is trying to access the same, okay, it is blocking it. It is not allowing it to enter. Okay, how it is done? It's something which we need to discuss in the upcoming sessions. Not in at security section of this, but yeah, this is the role of the firewall. Okay, so any doubts till this point? If you have, let me know.
Can you repeat this, sir, please?
Repeat what?
Is firewall.
Firewall.
What is
Okay.
that?
Okay, so I'll give you this example. Okay, let's say you are staying in an apartment. Okay,
Okay.
gated society. Definitely that those guys will have the security, right? Gated security, gated society means definitely. Why? And what do they do basically? Let's say a Swiggy guy enter into that gated society. What the Swiggy guy will do? He will say, hey, I have an order to be delivered. So will the watchman directly allow him to enter? No, right? He will do some checks. He will call the persons and all. And if he is allowed, then only he will be allowing him into that. Okay, he will take the confirmation from the owner and all the things. So similarly, the firewall also is doing the same job here. So it is inspecting each and every packet which is coming into our network. Okay. And if it is found to be a malicious packet, okay. So malicious packet means some unwanted traffic, it will block it. But if it is
how it knows, sir, it's unwanted.
There are ways. Okay. So there are many ways. So we need to go into technical details for that. So it is a day one of the session, right? So I'm keeping the things simple. But there are, so definitely it is not a magic. Okay. Definitely some technical device like the port number, IP address, MAC address, all these things will be checked by the firewall. Okay. And based on that, it will take the decision whether I have to allow or not. Okay. If it is allowed, it will send it. If it is not allowed, it will block it. So this way, our security is very good. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Any more questions?
Hi, sir. So at client side, the firewall is between router and switches, and at at server side. So and it's client side is after router between router and ISP is exist.
Good
Why?
observation. I can say that is a good observation. Okay. So these things, firewall can be between you and the internet, okay, or between you and your network. Okay. This depends on the business decisions. Okay, where you have to keep the firewall. Okay. Let's say your ISP is maintaining. So let's say this particular router is maintained by ISP. So then you cannot keep it in between these, right? Let's say the router is not maintained by your company, and it is maintained by the Airtel or Jio. Then you cannot keep a firewall in their network. So definitely you have to keep it here only. Means after the router. But let's say you are managing that particular router, then you have an access to keep that firewall here. Okay, so these are some business decisions based on the business, how they are doing the business. It will be decided whether it has to be inside or outside. So basically the job of firewall here you have to catch is it needs to inspect the traffic and the decision whether it has to be allowed or blocked. But I can say that is a good observation which you have made.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Cool. Any more questions? Cool. In that case, let's test our knowledge. Okay, so I have some few questions here. Let's see how you guys, this is not like a test and all, just to revise. Okay, so let's start our quiz. So this is a question. So what is the answer to this? Your company wants to purchase some network hardware to which they can plug 30 PCs into your department. Which type of network device is so appropriate?
Switch.
Switch, okay.
And they required on router also.
So first your task is to connect 30 pieces. That's it. After that, we will see what exactly we need to be done. So
Switch only.
Switches only required.
Okay, switch. Anyone think server? Anyone think firewall? Anyone think router? Please do let me know. I got some answers for switch only. Okay, majority of the people are saying switch. So let's go ahead and see. And the answer is correct. Okay, so all the others are wrong and this is correct. Okay, now the second question. So you received a video file from your friend Apple's iPhone using AirDrop. What is his iPhone functioning as? Client or server or local area network?
Server.
Client.
Client. Okay.
Receiving is a client.
Local, I think.
Local. Okay, I got 3 answers.
Local
now.
area.
Okay.
See, always receiver is a client, sending person is a server.
That's what you need to catch here, whether it is
but
that.
AirDrop is used by near to near.
Yeah.
In both phones should be near, so it will come under local area.
What I told you in the starting of the session, network no need to be something which is separated by large distances. It can be as simple as a Bluetooth also. So then it holds true. So whatever you are, just keep it here. Okay. I'm not looking for right answers. I'm only looking for participation. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. So here you are here to learn. So it's okay to make mistakes. But whatever you think, just let it out.
Okay.
Cool. So client, server, and I got server, client, mixed answers. So here you have to see what is your iPhone. Okay, so as a majority of the answers is server, let's check it. And the answer is correct. It is acting as a server because the Apple phone is sending the data. Okay, so when, as I said, whoever serves the request comes under the server. Any doubts?
Yes, I have. Can you explain the question again?
So the question is, you are sending a file, video file from Apple to your AirDrop. So here they're asking, what is your Apple iPhone doing? So you're sending from Apple
AirDrop.
iPhone, right?
What is AirDrop?
That's a device which you can use to share the details and all.
Okay.
Any more questions? Cool. Moving to the next question. So what is your computer or smartphone functioning as whenever you're watching a video? Let's say you guys are watching this session only. So how are you guys? What are you? What is your
Client.
Client.
Client. Okay. Unanimously, I got this particular one called as client. Anyone think server or end host? End host, I got one.
No, client.
Client. Okay. Cool. So the answer is client. Okay. So end host is just a category, guys. Okay. It's not a rule. Okay. So server is definitely not, because you guys are not sending anything. You are consuming the video. So server is totally wrong. End host, some of them said end host, but cool. No problem. Okay. So that's okay to be confused. But I hope now it is clear. Anyone has any doubts on this particular question?
Can you explain the difference between client and end host?
End host. Okay. So end host is just a category. Okay. We all are humans, right? And in that, you are, what is your name? Can I know your name?
Arpun sir.
Arpun. So your name is Arpun and my name is Nitish. So, but you and me both are humans. Similarly, end clients, in end clients, we have servers and clients. Understood? So end host is nothing but the name of the category. In that, server is also an end host, client is also an end host. Just like here, you are a human and I am also a human. Okay. It's just a name of the category, that's it. But not a device. Cool. So next question, loading. So your company wants to purchase some network hardware to connect its separated networks together. What kind of device it has to buy?
Router.
Okay. Router. Okay. Sir. Cool. Anything more? Anything more? Any more answers? I got only router.
Yeah, router is the right one.
Okay. Okay. Great. So let's check our answers. And you guys are correct. Okay. So all others are wrong. Great. You guys are doing very perfectly, even though it is a first session.
So why we can't use a firewall?
Where we use firewall? What is the purpose of firewall? Can you please explain that, please? Because I
just to make the security of the packet.
Exactly. So if you in the question, what they have asked is, you have to connect the network hardware separated by networks together. So their firewall is not going to help you, because the function of firewall is to provide the security, but not to connect the networks. For that, we need to use the router.
Okay.
So next question. So yeah, this one. Okay, this one is something which I should have explained. So in firewall, there are a category called as next generation firewalls. So that's advanced technology. So that is what I was referring here. So I didn't explain that. So this question is a skip. Okay. So with this, our first session comes to an end. So let me know if you guys have any questions or not. If yes, let me know. I'm more than happy to answer. Else, we are good here. That's all I have for day one.
Are you going to share this PPT with us?
PPT, so for the people who registered for the course.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. What about notes, like running notes, anything?
Running notes, sometimes I prepare. So, but I will give you guys this particular book. Okay, you guys can refer this book, which is CCNA. So this is what even I follow, CCNA official guide. So this is from Cisco only. So you guys can, I think you can get the PDF version of this. But if you want to go ahead and purchase, so this is a book you can purchase and make a read here. Okay.
Which one? The first one.
So there are two volumes, volume 1 and volume 2. So you can just take a screenshot of this CCNA official certification guide. Volume 1 is one and volume 2 will
So
also.
I have PDF.
Yeah, so PDF you can share with your
group. Share someone. So I have volume 1. Don't need to.
You can get the PDF version of this. I mean, without even just by Googling it, you will get both. Or else if you have a person who reads it on this particular one, then you can do that also.
Is the PDF version paid or free?
See, everything is available. You just need to scout for it. That's it. Like,
No. My question was, is the PDF version free to download or we have to pay? Is it paid?
no, there are some websites which allow you to download it for free. Okay, you just need to search for those websites. That's it. I think some have already got those, so people who have joined the session can get from him. Or you guys can just Google it out. You will easily find it out. Okay.
And when is the next class?
Gaurav, can you please?
So guys, from Monday 9 o'clock, and it's around 1.5 hours every day class.
Oh, yeah, you're going to send a meeting schedule, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Cool. Any more questions to answer?